Hello, everyone, and welcome to Under the Skin with Russell Brand. I am, of course, your host, Russell Brand. No, I'm Elliot. You know me. Here with my co-host, Skylar, as usual.
Hello.
There he is. See, I waited. He didn't. He waited for me to finish my intro instead of jumping in like I usually do. So,
Well,
good on you.
that's, just part of the process,
Yeah,
part of
I
the
agree.
artistic process of creating a
That's
beautiful
right.
thing.
Beautiful by all definitions. That's what this podcast is a true work of art.
But we got a really
Uh,
special episode for you guys here today because we're going to do something that nobody else has ever done before, and that's a true crime podcast. A true crime. We're gonna talk about true crime. We're gonna talk about real nitty gritty crime.
mm, just that down dirty crime.
Totally unique topic, not an
Yeah,
oversaturated market at all.
no, I
That's
don't.
what
I
we're
don't
gonna
think
do.
there's enough.
Yeah, no, I personally don't think there's enough true crime podcasts out there. I think
There's
there needs to be at least one more. It's an N plus one
yeah,
kind of thing. There's,
mm,
a number
yeah,
of true crime podcasts, and we just one more.
just one more, just another one.
But we're gonna
I
be
had this.
different.
Yeah, I had this realization the other day when I was just thinking about stuff like true crime for women is like, I don't know, like a medieval fantasy for dudes. It's kind of how I think of it, at least in my own like when like when I'm consuming a bunch of like fantasy novels and television shows and you know music sometimes
Sure.
I get I get to thinking that like, women do this but with true crime stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Uh, yeah, mainly women. In my experience, it's always been women that are really super, super into that stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't mean to overgeneralize all women everywhere, but 100% of the people that I know who were obsessed, quote unquote, obsessed with serial killers were women. So,
Sure, nothing wrong with, um, I want to say idolize, but they don't really idolize them. They just enjoy the story, I guess. I guess it's no different than like reading a penny novel about that kind of stuff, but it's more modern nowadays to just watch like whatever cable channel plays that schlock.
yeah. Yeah. And like the whole obsession with like Charlie Manson and Jeffrey Dahmer, I think is one of them.
Yeah,
Homie, BTK was a dude.
yeah, BTK,
Like,
yeah, he's a bind, torture, kill. Except he
but
was
yeah,
dumb. He
that's
was dumb about it. He was like, I think like he got caught because he like sent a floppy disk or something to the police
what?
or to like the detectives, and because like serial killers, they get off on having like they like the theatrics of it, and so he
Yeah.
like sent a floppy disk or something to them. And but like first he sent a letter and
Mm.
he was like, you can't trace me through this, can you? And he ended up like writing it on his church's computer and saving it to a floppy or something like that, and
Oh.
sent. And they, the police were like, no, no, we can't. We have no idea what that's all about. It's newfangled technology. And that's how they got him, is because he was just stupid.
Jeez. Just didn't understand the technology of the time.
No.
Like, wow.
Yeah, they were like
Floppy
able to
disks.
figure out that he like wrote the letter at his church or something like that. It's pretty stupid.
Jeez. That's so weird. I don't understand it. I mean, I kind of understand like the lore aspect of it. That's why I'm so deep into like fantasy nonsense. Is because there's a whole story to be told, And I mean, it's probably the same thing. It's just like they're real life people who existed and did these like terrible, terrible things. That doesn't, that doesn't get me wet, so to speak. It's
It's like murder porn,
yeah,
gratuitous murder
yeah,
porn.
yeah. I'm not a fan. Good on you if you're into it, if you're down with the makings of murderers and whatnot. But it's a pass from me. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you were saying.
Yeah. I don't I don't know how we started off on that rant, but
Because now we're officially a true crime podcast.
oh, that's right. Yeah.
Midwest Scumbag or whatever. It was like the Russell Crowe show. I forget what you led with tonight.
Russell Brand, Under the Skin.
Oh,
With
Under the
Russell
Skin.
Brand,
Okay.
which is not a true crime podcast. It's actually like a pretty legit one, but I tried listening to it because I dig him, but his podcast is hidden behind like a paywall, and he
Ah,
puts out like 10-minute little snippets of conversations that he has with people, and like it's cool, but I'd rather listen to the whole form of it, but I also don't want to pay because I'm one of those people. So
yeah, why pay
whatever,
for it when someone's just going to upload it on YouTube later?
Yeah, exactly. So whatever. But we're but we're a true crime podcast now. And in the spirit of true crime, I have to start out with an apology for my listeners. I went back and listened to that last episode, and we were talking about RuneScape, and I made the whole joke about wearing a plate skirt and taking off my helmet, and like I realized listening back to it that it was not an original joke at all. Like I definitely 100% stole that from somebody. I just can't remember who.
I mean, it's
So
like, it's something I think everybody kind of, well, not everybody, but it was just sort of a meme even back in the day to,
yeah,
you're,
yeah, that's fair, I
it's
guess.
not a girl you're talking to, it's some 40-year-old man
Yeah,
that just
yeah,
wants
I
a
get you.
quick buck or 10K or whatever.
But yeah, so I have to apologize for stealing that joke because whatever.
It's a very old joke.
It it probably is. It's probably really old and can't be traced back to anybody,
Not
but
any one
maybe it
person.
can.
I don't think
Yeah,
so. Not any one person. I feel like it's something that if you played RuneScape as a young adult, it's something you would have experienced. Just,
yeah,
you get this
that's
this
fair.
cute little hottie in a Sarah Dahlman plate skirt coming up to you, and she's like, "Oh, Daddy, I need 10K, please." And you're like, and I will oblige. I just spent the last 5 days killing chickens for feathers, but by all means, take my money, milady.
God damn. What was the feather farming? That was for like fishing, right?
Yeah, fly fishing, which was like
Jeez.
the meta fishing. Yeah, I mean, it still is for free to play.
Wow.
Other than lobsters, I think, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't
Mm,
really touched it in a while.
well, that's why. Because I fucking hate playing fishing. Just like fishing always shows up in like every game that I play, and I'm just like,
Yeah, it's
it,
not something I go out of my way to do.
yeah,
I even hated it back when I was a kid, like thinking back to like Ocarina of Time, there was this whole fishing mini game you could do, and I hated it.
man.
Never been about it, and you're right, it is in like every single game
Yeah.
nowadays. I mean,
For a long time, I only saw it in like JRPGs. So I was like, okay. I mean, that makes sense. Japan is an island nation. They're fishing all the time. It would be a big part of their culture, so it's always included in their games, but it's been added into a lot of like non weeb games nowadays, and it's just like, guys,
which it
I'm
makes
not gonna
sense,
play it.
I mean, America, we love our
Yeah,
fishing,
we do love our fishing.
fishing and hunting,
Gone fishing. Ma comes to look for me,
but the
tell her
Japanese
I'm
did it
out.
first, you know?
Yeah, Yeah. They certainly did. So good for them.
Yeah, good for them.
Fucking fishing. I don't even like IRL fishing, bro. Fish, like, real, like, live, scaly fish. I just don't, I don't like touching them. I used to feel really bad about, like, the hooks that they'd bite into. Because I was like, man, that must hurt. That must suck. You're just trying to eat some food, you know? What if, like, I guess they did it in SpongeBob with the hooks and stuff,
Yeah.
but if you're just sitting at, like, at a McDonald's restaurant, you bite into a cheeseburger and there's, like, a hook with a line going up to the heavens, you know, and you just get dragged away, never to see your family or friends ever again, all because, you know, you just wanted to eat some food. So I always felt bad for the fish.
I got a hook stuck in my eyebrow when I was a young child. It's a very core memory of my,
What?
yeah. I was taken out fishing and like I had the rod and I like did the whole thing of casting it out, but I pulled it back at the wrong angle and it got like stuck in my eyebrow. So like
Oh,
that kind of turned me
man.
off to fishing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like 4 or 5, so it just kind of stuck with me forever. I
Still.
understand why, like fishing is a necessity as long as you
Oh,
don't
yeah, for sure.
overfish and you're like, conscious about it. But
Mm-hmm.
as for just like recreational or going out with the boys and sitting on the lake and fishing, that's just never been my thing.
Yeah. Like, I liked sitting on the boat and enjoying the nature
Oh
and the
yeah, that's
water
fun. Get a
and
fucking
whatnot.
12 pack, 30 pack or whatever and go out on a boat, get super drunk. But
Yeah.
I could do that without the fishing and just enjoy
Mm-hmm.
nature and absorb it.
Yeah.
But
Like,
that's
I'd go out
weird.
there with, a can of worms and just throw them in the. No, never mind. I was gonna say, I felt bad for the worms too, like, putting them on the hook. You have to, like, skewer them and stuff. And I was just like, God, if they had mouths, like, they would be screaming. But, they're just little worms. And I, of course, am this huge human, the top of the food chain. I can't have any sympathy for literal
A worm.
bugs.
No,
Yeah,
God no.
but I
Still,
did.
it is
I
like I definitely recommend if you're gonna fish to like get your own worms instead of buy. I mean, it's easier to buy them at like a bait and tackle shop, but
hmm
in my experience with my line of work, we have like a refrigerator that we hold worms in, and if like nobody buys worms for 2 weeks, they just turn into mush because they start eating them each other.
Uh, uh, uh,
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
oh,
It smells
oh my
awful as well.
God.
Just for a little
Oh
nitty gritty into the
man,
industry. Like if you're and like make sure you
jeez.
buy out those worms because they do not last long and they will turn into literal mush and smell
That's
really
that.
bad, and people will get
Ugh,
mad because no one thinks to check.
so yucky. Ugh, man. Now I feel bad for those worms that, instead of going out and fulfilling their purpose of being fish food, they're just in a pile with a bunch of other worms that, the new worms just start eating them.
Pretty much. I mean, they run out of. I'm pretty
Ugh.
sure it's they run out of like nutrients in the soil that they're packed with, and they just start kind of eating each other
Ugh.
until there's yeah, like there's nothing left. It's gross. It's gross as hell.
Man, this is a true crime podcast. That's
Yeah, that
disgusting.
is a crime, man. Fucking the worm industry. It's like all out of
Cannibals.
some company out of Canada, I believe.
Really?
Well, at least where
Wow.
we get ours, and I'm pretty sure most gas stations and shit will get theirs too. But
Mm.
yeah, it's pretty gross.
Canadian worms. Canadian worms are cannibals. They're just try. I don't know how they're different from American worms.
Probably not much.
Probably not much.
They all come out after a hard rain. It's a lot
Yeah.
easier to just go catch your own. Maybe not easier, but
Yeah.
more economical
Mm-hmm.
or
Oh, you said they come
ecologically.
out. Yeah. Dude, it reminds me of when I was in elementary slash middle school. I want to say 5th grade. Um, it was like I had PE real early in the morning, and then it would like rain, but then we would all stand in like lines or whatever in our spots on the like outside basketball court. So it was just, like a hunk of cement or whatever. But when it rained in the morning, all of the little like wormies and stuff would climb out of it, and then they would just die on the concrete, and there would just be a ton of dead worms all around. And I was like, dude, I'm not sitting down in this. This is
That's
gross.
gross.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Not a
it's a
fan.
hard life. It's a hard life for a worm.
Yeah, it is. But, the plus side is that, like, their brains are so tiny, they don't even really comprehend anything besides their
Yeah, I don't think they can
primal
feel
instincts.
pain or anything like that. At least not like we feel
Yeah.
pain. But
I hope not, because I've watched a handful of worms getting skewered on a hook, and I felt real bad, and they would squirm around like they were in pain, and I was like,
at
hmm.
the same time, fish are delicious, so it's a
Yeah, exactly.
fair trade.
I'm I'm a hypocrite because I fucking love eating fish.
Yeah.
I don't like live fish. Touching them, they're
God, yeah,
ugh.
give me some sashimi, some fucking sushi. Oh yeah, boy.
Mm, 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 mm.
Eat that all day, every day.
Yeah, because because you're a rich man.
That's right.
You
That's all I eat is I drink white wine and I eat shrimp. That's all I do.
shrimp, shrimp, white wine.
That's right.
Son of a bitch, man.
Well, I guess to get it out of the way, this is our 10th episode.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, we made it through 10 episodes. Maybe not 10 weeks consecutively, but we did it.
Nah,
We did a
there
thing.
was a lost episode in there, but we still have,
Yeah, there
enough.
was.
We have enough of a podcast to where somebody who works an 8-hour shift could put us on and just listen to our voices the entire work shift. And I think that's commendable
I do
if
too.
I'm going to toot my own horn.
That's why I'm going to drink this beer
Oh ho ho.
and
Celebration.
celebrate.
Straight up Selly, bro. I had a couple shots of whiskey beforehand, so you know. Um good stuff. Good stuff. Episode 10, everybody. Um so we kind of had a little conversation earlier. We were talking about well, you've been playing Binding of Isaac recently, right?
Yes.
Nice. Like there was a new expansion for it, or a
Yeah, I was.
like
It's supposed to be the final expansion called
oh, so it's like a
Repentance. Yeah,
major update kind of thing.
very major. I mean, it's kind of what I guess Rebirth was to the original game. It like kind of because there's Rebirth, Afterbirth Plus, and then now this new one, Repentance, and it like kind of changed everything again. Bunch of new
Man.
updates, bunch of new items, bunch of different like gameplay mechanics that kind of changed. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'd played a lot of Afterbirth Plus coming from Rebirth on the like I played most of my Binding of Isaac on the 3DS, funny
Yeah.
enough. And that was it was very hard to go from that to Afterbirth Plus because so much shit changed.
Yeah.
And now with Repentance, it's kind of the same thing again. It's just a bunch of stuff I was getting used to. Mechanics I was starting to learn have kind of changed. There's a bunch of new characters.
Damn.
It's completely, not
It's
completely
like
different. Same game, same core mechanics. You got four directions you can shoot in and a bunch of different items you can get. You're trying to get as
mm-hmm.
deep as you can into the hellscape that Edmund
Yeah.
McMullen has created. But I mean it's still fun. The gameplay loop is still very fun and addicting, I think.
Oh, for sure. I played a handful of it on the 3DS, and it just like it was the RNG. Just pisses me off, with these random generation, procedural generation kind of stuff. Like if you just don't get decent items, or like you get items that don't synergize very well, and then
Yeah.
you're just fucked. Like
Yeah.
it would get under my skin with Russell Brand, if you know what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah.
It's
Ha ha ha. Yeah.
haha.
I got you. I understand that. Yeah. It's kind of a problem with modern day roguelites. Some do it better than others. I think Dead Cells really does it well, where you can kind of feel like you're doing well in any run you're on, and not
Yeah,
feel
Dead's
too, you know, like you got fucked over because of RNG. You still can, of course, but it's not as bad as
yeah.
Isaac. Isaac is pretty bad sometimes.
Yeah, that's at least in Dead Cells, most of the RNG is just like weapons, so
Hmm.
you just swap weapons around, and then it's like if you suck with swords but you find a hammer, you can rock it with the hammer. I feel like it's more skill based,
Yeah.
and the RNG is just like it's there, but it's like you could totally ignore picking up other weapons and shit. It might just be a little bit harder or whatever.
Yeah.
I do enjoy some Dead Cells though. That's a pretty great
Yeah,
game.
Dead Cells is pretty fun. I had a good time with that. I don't think I beat it, but I got pretty close before I kind of lost interest in it. Not
Yeah.
for any reason other than I just have a very large library and
Oh
I
yeah.
just fell
Fuck.
out of it. Gungeon
It's
is another one that's kind of like that. It's more skill based. I feel like that one you could compare it more to Isaac because Isaac is a bullet hell, but
yeah.
um, there's just a lot of I feel like unfair mechanics at points in Isaac. Whereas with Gungeon, there are some fucking bullshit moments, but a lot of times it's a skill thing where you
Uh-huh.
will take a hit or take damage. A lot of these games, they have characters that will, it's like you get used to the gameplay loop. Like you have a couple hearts, you can take like 5 or 6 hits with them, but then you'll unlock a character, and like their whole mechanic is that you shouldn't get hit. And
Mm,
Isaac does that as well, except there are just some bullshit rooms where you cannot avoid taking damage. It's infuriating. I mean, it really is.
oh yeah. That's why I never I think I beat it technically once, like one time through, but then it was like, "Hey, you beat it and unlocked this part of the map. Now beat it again a
Yeah,
bunch of times." And I was just like, "Well, I just got super duper lucky the one time that I beat it, and I've never been able to replicate it since."
it's like 10 times worse now. It was like
God
you
damn.
have to kill mom, and then once you kill mom like 5 times, it's like, oh, now you can go into the womb, and here's mom's heart. And then you kill
Oh.
mom's heart like 5 or 10 times, and then it's like, well, now you can go to heaven or hell and fight Satan, or
Whoa.
yeah. But it goes even deeper than that now. It's like 3 or 4 layers deeper,
Jesus Christ.
and it kind of is up to RNG a lot of times, especially if you're
Mhm.
playing on the harder difficulties.
God, harder difficulty. I think I only played it on like easy mode,
Yeah,
and even then I still just could not. I couldn't do it. I couldn't beat it very often. It made me super mad, and that's where like I try not to lose my temper too much. I like to think I'm a pretty level-headed guy, but when games fucking just get me heated, and I'm like, man, that was one of them. That's one of them that just gets my blood boiling.
well, I
You know what I'm
feel you.
saying?
I know, I know. I've been
Yeah.
experiencing it this past couple days or this past week since it's been out. I Like I'll be playing it for an hour or 2 hours, and it's like, God damn, I haven't made any fucking progress at all. Like none. I
Oof.
haven't unlocked anything new, and I'll just get pissed and
Goddamn.
quit because I just can't. It's a skill issue. Get good, just don't get hit.
I yeah. I suppose, yeah. I'm really bad at bullet hells too. I haven't played a whole lot of them.
I think Gungeon was really my first one. That was like an actual bullet hell where I had to memorize pattern. I mean, Isaac too to some extent, but I mean,
Mhm.
I feel like there was a lot more random like bullet patterns and stuff in that one than Gungeon. Where Gungeon, like the bosses, they all have like a set pattern. They'll have like three
Okay.
or four different moves, and they'll have like their whole screen takes up bullets and everything. And if you just dodge right, you get through without
Damn.
getting hit.
Yeah.
Whereas Isaac, there's some bosses that are just pure bullshit and exist for just to be a wall.
Yeah. God, man. Wasn't that I remember at one point in Isaac it was like if you got through most of the game and then like you ended up getting well cuz even the bosses for some part of it was like RNG based cuz I remember there was like, it was you could do whatever bosses on each level there was like two or three that it would switch between and towards the end it was I want to say it was. I don't know if it was. I don't think it was Satan, but it was like maybe Belphegor or something that shows up, and instead of uh, instead of the normal boss, it was like, well, now here's something that's even harder. It was just random. So it was like, I hope you had other random pickups that were great because this guy's gonna fucking roll you over, dude.
Yeah, no, you're right to an extent there. I mean, the farther you go into the game, I mean, the better you do, the harder it gets, and the more bosses you'll unlock. And some of those bosses
Yeah.
will just be shit. Like there's this one boss called the Bloat, and he's
Mm,
pretty infamous in the community for being like a run killer, just because if you don't have a good setup, then you will die.
Jesus. Kind of like the collector in Darkest Dungeon. That dude.
Oh yeah, yeah, kind of like
Yeah.
that, definitely. Just really hard for the sake of being hard, and
Yeah.
kind of a DPS check just to make sure you know you're
Mm-hmm.
you're all set up and good to go.
Yeah. So it's like, if you stack all of your you go through the game stacking on like, health or whatever, but not getting any like attack pickups, then it's
Yeah,
like, well, you're just kind of fucked. So,
essentially, yeah.
jeez.
Which, that's just the nature of roguelites in general. I
Yeah.
mean, roguelikes are a
Yeah.
completely different monster. Those are just, I mean, those can be really unfair. Like, I think Isaac's
Yeah,
unfair. Those can be very unfair.
man. Yeah, we were talking about the difference between roguelikes and roguelites, and
Yep. Hmm.
let me find where you defined it, or if you just want to say it. I'm
Um,
scrolling through a text chat, but
roguelikes are you start a character and you play the game, and when you die, that's it. Your character's dead. The progress
mm,
you made is only on that character. So,
oh, so it's like legit permadeath,
yes, it's permanent death. Roguelites, on
man.
the other hand, there's some sort of meta progression, like with Isaac. When you beat a boss with a
Mm-hmm.
certain character, you'll unlock a new item, or you make dead cells. I believe the mechanic was like you could buy new weapons, or you unlock new weapons the farther you got, so you could do different
Mm-hmm.
play styles and stuff.
Yeah.
With roguelikes, it's just you have that one character. That's it. When you
Damn.
die, you start over fresh completely.
That's hardcore. Holy shit.
Yeah. So, I
I don't
mean,
even know a game that would be an example of that.
I mean, Caves of Cud, a Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, Rogue, of course. Dwarf Fortress is pretty much like that as well.
Oh my god, that game.
It's just, you have the
I've
one life and
never.
that's it.
Oof. Man. I've never played Dwarf Fortress, but I watched you play it a little bit at one point, and it was all like. Uh, like, it was all ASCII characters,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's how a lot
Insane.
of old roguelikes are. I mean, that was how Rogue was. It was an ASCII based game.
Oh.
But
Huh.
yeah, it's I never got good at that. I didn't even know what I was doing when I played. I still don't.
Yeah. Yeah, when I would watch you, I'd be like, wait, what the fuck is going on? And you're just like, I don't know.
Yeah, pretty
I don't
much.
know what the fuck is happening.
The thing I like about roguelikes over roguelites a lot is good example is a very good roguelite that, is very new and probably a lot of people know it is Hades.
Yeah.
Amazing game. Absolutely
Fantastic.
fantastic. But
Oh, yeah.
the thing with Hades is that the story and the characters in it are all curated already. They're designed with an intent.
Yeah.
The story writers and whatever they've been designed. As you progress, you unlock more story that has already been created. With
Mm-hmm.
roguelikes, you kind of have to make the story up on your own.
Oh, okay.
So it's like with Hades, you start as the son of Hades, and you have to work your way through the underworld and talk with all the Olympian gods and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you work through that story up until, the finale and everything. With a roguelike, it's like you make a character, you name it, you build it. Think kind of like D&D,
Mm.
and then you go through and because of how RNG works, you'll have a different story every time.
Oh. Huh. So it gives you a chance to really like RP.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, if you're into that kind of thing, I mean, obviously you have to learn the mechanics of the game and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and it's a lot harder to do that with a game like roguelikes, regular roguelikes, than it is for Hades, where your character's pre-built and the story is already set. It's like a DM already has the story built for you, whereas with a roguelike,
Oh.
you're the
Mm-hmm.
DM and you're taking the character through the story.
Oh man.
If that's probably the
Okay.
best way I could really explain it. That's how I see it. I've played a couple of
Yeah.
roguelikes. Some of them I've got really into, like Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup is probably one of the better ones. It's free.
Mm.
Um, but I mean, has a lot of deep mechanics and stuff. But for an example, it's like you know, um, one of the races. If you play as a giant, they can eat rings, and they can take the enchantment of the ring when they eat them.
Whoa.
So, and I mean, if you were to play as a human and like use a scroll of mind control on a giant, you could make that giant eat rings. And then maybe if you get lucky, you get a ring of levitation, and then you get a giant that can fly, and you can ride the giant as a mount. And I mean, it's just like
What?
it just opens up a lot of different pathways to tell a story.
Man.
If you look at it that way, I mean, you can also just look at it
Yeah.
from a purely mechanical perspective.
Man. That's interesting. I didn't really know the difference between roguelikes and roguelites, and the one like article that I read that tried to explain it did not like it didn't explain it. I was it was like roguelikes are games that are like the game Rogue, and I was like, okay, that's cool because I've never fucking played that.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to like great explanation, article
I
writer.
mean, it's true,
Jesus.
but I mean, you can't, you got to know what rogue is before you can know what a, you know. I mean, it's
Yeah.
literally the namesake of the genre.
Yeah. And I don't know it, but
It was like
maybe
one
I'll
of the
just watch
first.
a
It was
video or
a,
something.
what is it called? A multi-user dungeon that was done on
Oh,
like DOS, maybe even before DOS, but
Jesus.
it's like been around since the 80s at least.
Oh, back when like yeah, like the at the dawn of multiplayer games.
I don't think it was multiplayer. It was just
Uh
it was randomly generated, procedurally generated, and that was what made it so unique.
oh.
Was every playthrough was mostly different, you know, within the constraints of the technology of the time. I mean, obviously,
Hmm.
you would pick up on
Yeah.
mechanics and stuff, and it would kind of be similar, but you wouldn't have the same exact playthrough every time. That was the difference, and that was kind of where, that's where roguelites are. They take up that mantle. It's, you never really have the same playthrough, but you pick up on the mechanics enough that you kind of can.
Yeah.
Like Hades, of
Yeah.
course, you can pick, you eventually will learn what all the boons do and how they synergize.
Mhm.
And so you can kind of but you won't get the same exact rooms. You do get the same exact bosses every time. So that's a little different, but you don't get the
Yeah.
same boons every time. You don't get the same hammers every time. Sometimes you run into those random events and stuff. So that's kind of where it
Mhm.
gets its roots.
Yeah. Just super good. I haven't beat Hades yet. Um
Bro.
I know. I got to the final boss fight. It's just like that second to last boss fight fucked me up, man. Fucking Perseus and Asterius.
Oh yeah, that
Like
boss fight sucks.
it really does. It's hard.
That's
I
all. I
mean for
think
me,
that's
I
harder
obviously.
than the big man himself and the
Yeah.
redacted.
Yeah. I got up to him and then I like started the fight, but that last boss fight had me fucked up, so I had little health, didn't have any more death defiances, like
It
so
doesn't
it was
help the
like,
whole
okay,
satyr level just sucks.
dude, yeah.
Especially if you
Yeah.
get bad RNG and you have to go through all 5 rooms.
Mhm.
Or all,
God
not
damn.
rooms, but like they're all the corridors that lead to a room. Because you can get fucked on that and like not get it until the last. Sometimes you'll get it on the first one, sometimes you'll get it on the fifth. It's just,
Yeah. And then they give you that final little Chiron shop that it's like, hey, look at all these things that you can buy, and it's tempting to go and hit all the rooms, but it's like, if you do that, you're gonna set yourself back a little bit,
yeah, unless you've got a really
unless
OP run.
yeah, or
And
if you're like really good at the game, and I'm obviously not. For for anyone listening, I would say I'm probably average to below average tier good at games. I'm not I'm not as great as I think I am. That's for sure. So,
I'm okay at some games, but others I'm not. I'm not good at FPSs. But games
yeah,
like Hades, yeah, I'm pretty good at. I mean, I beat Hades. I got like the credits, the
damn.
final credits.
Shit. That's that that's embarrassing because like I bought you Hades after like I
I
had
know.
already put I've already put like a dozen or so hours into it, and I was like, "Oh, Skylar would like this." And then then you fucking beat it, and I was
I
disheartened
think
cuz
I
I
got
haven't
it in
played it
like
in a while.
50 runs. Was
God damn, really?
and yeah, and that
Ugh,
was like the final. I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's a lot to
yeah.
that game. There is a lot to it, more than you
Mhm.
probably think. It's a good game
Yeah.
though. It's a very good game.
It super good. I need to play it some more. I've been fucking around with other ones like Curse of the Dead Gods. Very almost very similar to Hades,
Yeah,
you
that one's
know.
pretty fun.
It's pretty good. I dig it. It adds in that like stress mechanic, which is super cool, or the
The
corruption
corruption
mechanic,
or
which
curse or whatever it is.
yeah, yeah, works like kind of works like
High
the
risk,
stress in
high risk, high
Darkest
reward
Dungeon.
is what I,
Yeah,
you
for
know.
sure. And then it's a matter of like managing your curse level as you go through and mitigating it with, picking weapons that remove curse on kills and balancing that between doing enough damage, and all the bosses have their own kind of thing. It's super fun. I really like
Yeah,
it.
that one was pretty good. That's a good roguelite, I'd say.
Yeah.
Trying to think of another one. What's the name of this one? It's kind of like GTA almost. Gosh, I wish I could remember the name of it.
Hmm. A GTA
Like
like.
like almost classic GTA.
Oh. Sort of a top down kind of thing?
Yeah, and it's pixelated. Um,
Huh.
Streets of Rogue.
Oh,
Streets of
okay.
Rogue is what it's
Nice.
called, and it's basically you have like it's a procedurally generated map every time, but you have like missions that you have to go do, and you pick like a class, like you can be a soldier or a police officer or a bum, and they all have like
What?
little quirks and stuff that they have. Like some people are more charismatic and can talk people like down out of like stressful situations. Some people are more stealthy. It's a pretty fun
Huh.
one. It's I had a lot of fun with it. I didn't get very far in it because it's kind of hard, but I really
Yeah.
liked it.
That sounds cool. I'm totally on board for any game that lets you play as a homeless person.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, pretty fun. I would recommend it if you're into that kind of thing.
Man. What was it called? Streets of Rogue?
Streets of Rogue. It was on
I'm
Game
gonna have
Pass
to.
for a while. I don't know if it still is, but
Mm. Speaking of Game Pass, bro, you know what I found out today? Um, so I switched over my streaming stuff to Streamlabs OBS or whatever instead of Twitch Studio.
yep.
So I'm on OBS. I had a fuck up. I realized my webcam decides to stop working if I plug in my controller to play Steam games. That was one thing. Anyway, the other thing I found out is that it won't fucking pick up Game Pass games.
Really?
Yeah. Like I downloaded Resident Evil 7 cuz I downloaded it in October and I was going to play it, and I was like, people want to see me freak out because I'm a little bitch. And I was like, okay, finally, I loaded it up today and I was like, I'm going to fucking play it. I'm going to stream it cuz I haven't been streaming enough. And OBS was just not finding it. It was
Huh.
super annoying. So, and I haven't tried any other Game Pass games with it yet. I was able to stream Prey with Twitch Studio,
Hmm.
but yeah, I don't know what's up. I probably just have to tinker with the settings or something.
Yeah,
It's
probably some trouble. I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure actually Xbox likes it when people do that.
man, of course.
Microsoft, because it's like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, check out, the streamer. He's playing whatever on Xbox Game Pass, only on Microsoft systems and,
Oh,
whatever.
Microsoft, TM, Game Pass, TM. Yeah. So yeah, I figure that fucking shit. I was dealing with that earlier,
Yeah,
and
computers
I'm
suck
up.
like that.
Yeah, I was upset. I was like, man, I'm gonna suck it up. Like, actually, grow a pair of balls and play a spooky game, and
I know
then
I would have watched that shit.
have a second pair of balls because I'm playing it online where anybody can watch my facial reactions and how much I freak out because yeah, I'm a fucking bitch.
It's a spooky
But
game.
yeah, it's that's what I've heard is that it's actually pretty spooky.
Pretty scary.
So, yeah. So we'll see. That's coming soon, everybody. Twitch.tv/Elzoth. Check it out. Um,
Definitely check them out.
That's my plug. Um, Man. Yeah.
Yeah, I just talked about roguelites and roguelites for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. It's a good topic. I mean, I really enjoy that genre of game. I just wish I was better at them,
It's good to
you
kind of clear the air about them a bit.
know.
Because I feel like, I mean, I played a lot of them. I don't feel like I'm an expert by any means, but I do know the difference, and I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't know,
Yeah.
is just what the
I
difference is
was
between them.
mhm. I was in that category until today. So,
Well, I'll send you some links to some. Like I
yeah,
said,
was
Dungeon
that
Crawl
one
Stone Soup is really good. That was where I got, that's like where I started with them.
Yeah, I remember. I know that name because I feel like I've seen you play it, and I,
I'm pretty sure I
I
did,
haven't
yeah.
played it myself, but I've definitely heard of that.
And
So
then I've told you
it's
about Caves of Cud.
y- you probably have,
I th- I
and I forgot.
th- I think the story that I had from that one was like I started a character and then I ended up picking up this item that cloned me, but my clone was an evil version of me with another head, and like he was in a different dimension, so he could
What?
only pop into the dimension I was in like every once. So it'd be like I'd be playing, I'd be going through and doing my shit, then all of a sudden, randomly, this evil clone of me from another dimension would show up, and he would try to kill
What?
me to take
What?
my place. But I ended up like mind swapping with him at one point because he was a lot more powerful than me. So I
What
mind
the
swapped with
fuck?
him, and then I killed my old body, and I took his
What?
body as my new body. That game's pretty
What the
fucking
hell?
crazy. That game is
That is
nuts.
that is wild. Holy shit. You became your own evil clone?
The evil clone became me, and then I killed me. It took his body because he had better shit and was more powerful.
Wow, what the hell?
Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah. And of course, this is all done in like it's not ASCII, but they're like tiles. So it
Oh,
sounds really
okay.
cool when you explain it, but it's kind of the same way D&D is when you like explain it to somebody, but then when they play it, it's like, oh, I don't get to see any of this stuff. It's just a
It's
story being
more
told.
yeah, you have to use your imagination a little bit.
Yes, very much.
That's that's awesome. I really like that actually. Cuz I've been working on my writing projects, I've realized uh I don't I don't write long form very well or very often or anything,
Uh-huh.
specialize in poetry. But so as I'm writing down this story, I'm trying to get it out of my head, and as I'm writing it, I'm like kind of watching it kind of like a movie. So then I write down kind of what's happening at a specific pace, and then when I take a break from it and like read other fantasy writing, shout out to R.A. Salvatore, I fucking love his books. But like I read through it, and then I'm remembering like, oh, this is a book, dude. I don't have to like keep up a breakneck pace of this is what's happening exactly when, physically, like you can stop and take a paragraph or two to explain a thought process going through somebody's head in a split second.
Oh, sure.
It's that kind of it's a different thing for me to wrap my head around, but it's like, oh, that's why novels are like the fucking top tier story medium. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
yeah, you can take a page or two to, I mean, obviously with some liberties, if you can take a page or two to describe something very well, you know,
mm-hmm.
it's going to be better than just saying, "Oh, I slashed him with a sword." But if you can
Yeah.
go into some detail into how the fight went and all the little things going on in those seconds without taking too many
Yeah.
liberties. Some authors will drone on and on about shit. Like it's kind of one of the issues I have with Stephen King is sometimes there'll be these moments where there's like something will happen in a couple seconds, but it'll take a page or two for the
Yeah.
person to think about what's going on and you
Mm-hmm.
know.
And then really just, yeah, like those deep, heavy descriptions of the setting that's like, it doesn't really come up later.
Oh
So,
yeah,
doesn't.
or like another good example was like The Great Gatsby, where he like describes everything in detail.
Yes. Oh, man.
Every single object in every room has to have like
Mm-hmm.
a fucking paragraph dedicated to it because
Yeah.
I assume that guy just loves the sound of his own fucking voice.
Dude, he must. He must have, man. F. Scott Fitzgerald, homeboy. I should have read his other stuff, but I didn't. I think I have a copy of Tender is the Night, but I haven't read it. Like pretty much I feel like everybody owns a shitload of books that they haven't read
Oh yeah.
yet.
I
Those
do.
big yeah. I cashed in on those library sales, man. Where you can go in and just like get a bag of books for $10. I have this super old book that's like nerve control and how to gain it, and it was written in like 37 or something. It's very outdated, but it's kind of fun.
I have a copy of Grey's Anatomy
Yeah.
that I display prominently on my shelf so people know that I'm smart.
The one with Sandra Oh, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You have the novelization of the
The
series Grey's
novel
Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy, yeah, that's right.
No, Grey's Anatomy was named after the Anatomy book, right? That's what that is.
Yes, it is.
Man, that's impressive.
I've never read it.
No.
I browsed through it a couple times, of course, or I'll look at
Yeah.
it when I'm feeling, spurious, but
Yeah. You look at yourself in the mirror naked and you're like, is this what a normal penis looks like? And then you have to go to the book and be like, oh,
oh yeah,
yeah, it is pretty average.
I'd fuck me.
You tuck your dick between your legs and do a
Do a
dance
little
with it later on.
dance. Yep, that's right.
That's just a typical Thursday night, as they say. Man, went off on the whole thing, but good shit. Good.
That's what it's all about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Episode
Mm-hmm.
10, baby.
Episode 10, everybody.
And
You wanted it, and we delivered.
that's right, we did, and we didn't plan
That's
for it at all.
No, we didn't. I wrote down the only thing I wrote down in my notes for this episode this week was to apologize for that RuneScape joke that I stole. That's all I had.
Well, that's okay. I'm sure all the people that play RuneScape that listen to this will forgive you.
I hope so. That or they're like, this fucking loser doesn't even play RuneScape, so fuck him. Fuck his apology.
I mean,
And
truthfully, they probably don't listen to podcasts because that's XP waste. And
yeah.
that's the big thing nowadays. Like you cannot waste experience.
Yeah, you can't be running Spotify on your phone while you have old school RuneScape going. Your battery's gonna drain.
It's gonna
So
drain. Yeah, it's
you
gonna
gotta
drain.
just have old school RuneScape by itself. Because
That's right.
anything else is
You stare at
XP
that fucking
waste.
tree for fucking 50 hours and only get one level, you bitch.
Ugh, man.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. Funny RuneScape story just because I like always kind of keep up with stuff going on in the community. But like a big thing nowadays is people will go beyond level 99 because like the max
Mm,
XP you can get is 200 million, which I think is
right.
like the equivalent of 50 something 99s. It's
Jesus.
very high, but like one of the top people that did smithing, and smithing sucks. It still sucks. It's an awful skill to train.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this guy was he was so efficient that like he wore a diaper,
Ugh.
so he didn't have.
So efficient.
I
that's
mean,
that's
yeah, that's efficiency skate, bro. You don't have to go up for bathroom breaks or anything, so you just shit your pants.
Not wasting a single drop of
Nope,
XP.
that's
God
right.
damn.
There are these people
That's
that
what.
will do it. I mean, they will. They're like all about them high score lists and want to be number
Ugh.
one. Because as soon as you hit 200 million, you're cemented. Like, whoever hit 200 million XP first is always going to be number one. Like, nobody can ever be
Man,
above them. So, yeah, that
that's
guy, yeah,
crazy.
he went crazy and fucking
He he's probably drowning in puss, man. Like, I got 2 million XP in RuneScape. I was the first guy to
200,
do that.
200
200
million.
million? Fuck. See, I don't even understand the scope of it. Wow.
2 million XP, that's like, I don't know, maybe like level, I don't want to give a thing, but I want to say that's like maybe level 90,
Oh, okay. All right.
if that.
I was going to say it's probably level 67, which is what I hit.
No, that's like a couple 100,000, maybe a million or so.
Maybe I would say maybe a million, but I don't know.
Maybe.
That's
I don't
me
know. I don't,
throwing numbers out to make myself feel better.
I have base 70s in most of my skills on my old school
Jesus.
account. And that took forever. I could not imagine
God damn.
maxing in that game. My God.
Oh,
Getting
for
99 and
real.
everything, let alone 200 million. And like,
God.
there's no benefit to it either. It's just for the flex.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's not like maxing out every stat is gonna make your character like, ascend into godhood to where you're just like invincible or anything. You're still just playing the
Well, sure,
game.
yeah. I mean, getting 99s and everything is, that's like the pinnacle, but anything beyond that is just masochism. It's just pure masochism. Like, you gotta hate yourself. Or you gotta really
Honestly,
like that game, like that cookie clicker. And I
man.
call it a cookie clicker, and I love RuneScape. I love it. I go back to it every couple of months. I'll see a post and be like,
Yeah.
God damn, that looks really fun. I'll buy a month of membership, and I'll be like, oh my God, why?
Yeah. And you look at yourself in the mirror and you have a diaper on and you're
God, I don't think so. I don't think I'm that bad. I don't think I could ever be. I hope I'm never that bad. No offense. No offense to the guys that do it. Good on you. But
Man,
I could not. I no.
it's hardcore. Do you think there's a brand of diapers out there for grown ass men who play video games too much?
No, but they should like make some and then they should sponsor people that play RuneScape or any MMO for that matter to that extent. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people like that in World of Warcraft and that
Yeah.
play it like 20 hours a day and then maybe sleep for 4 and then get right back on.
Yeah. Like you would think that those people would be sponsored by some kind of
Yeah,
dumper
like Depend, like
dumper
Depends
dire
would want to sponsor
diaper.
them.
Yeah. Depends. That's what I was trying to say and my
I think
words
that's
got all
like the
skewed.
official adult diaper. That's
The
probably
official
the
the
official
official
of
diaper for
RuneScape.
like you log in and it's their daily special and then they have ads for whatever too
Buy
and
two
it's like
packs, get
depends.
14 days of membership.
Damn.
I really don't
That's
mean
what
to
they
rag on the
man.
community. I mean, if anybody listening to this plays RuneScape, seriously, I get it. Just, I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah. I can respect it. Like I can respect that kind of dedication, but I just haven't found that game that I would give up my whole life for and start wearing diapers and, like just,
Play it 16
yeah,
plus hours a day every day for years.
yeah. I just can't do it. I don't know if it's like that millennial ADHD or whatever, but I can't like, or ADD, or I don't know, but I can't like, focus on one game for a super duper long time. I have to rotate it out. I have to switch it up. I can't play the same thing,
Oh,
or
same.
else it gets too old. And then like once it gets old, my brain files it in that I don't get any pleasure out of this anymore category, and then I just never touch it again.
That was how WoW
And that's no
Classic
good.
was.
Yeah, it's
It
no
was like I
good.
dedicated so much time to it, and then it was like one day I'm like, why am I still playing this? I don't get any
Yeah.
pleasure. I'm just doing the same thing every day.
Yeah.
But some people,
That
they do get pleasure out of it, and good on them. I'm glad they do. You got to
Oh,
find
for
something
sure.
that you like, and for some people it's an MMO, for some people it's music, for some people it's murdering people. Do what you love.
The True Crime Podcast, everybody. So
That's right. Midwest Scumbag True Crime Podcast from here on out.
but we'll only cover true crimes of people who were also like hardcore gamers. So we have to find that weird niche, that weird group that, plays violent video games and commits acts of violence. It's rare. It's not, I feel like it's a rare group.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's more
But
rare than you think.
yeah. But we'll search them out and we'll talk about them for about an hour
Yeah.
every
We'll
week.
expose them.
That is our new mission for the next for the next 10 episodes. And then episode 20 we'll figure out. We'll pivot the podcast again into
Yeah, we'll
something.
do like a good mythical morning thing and just do like random
Ooh.
shit. We'll cook and I don't know what they do, but they're really popular. So we'll do that next.
Uh-huh. Yeah. We'll I mean we're definitely 100% we're going to pivot into me recording stories and shit because I just want to do that, I like that shit. Start listening to like audiobooks or whatever, and just that oral storytelling, it hits that core, that primal sitting around a campfire with your family and everybody in the tribe, and the story of some other tribe of bad folks or whatever. I don't know where I was going with that, but I'm gonna do that for sure.
I look forward
But
to it.
yeah, it probably won't be on this podcast either because like that's, I don't know, I feel like our normal listeners don't really, if you're listening for all of our video game talk, then you're not really here to hear the story of the Chinoo in northeastern North America, or something like that. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm underestimating
Maybe there
our
is some
audience.
overlap.
Maybe there is, because I'm into that shit and I have a very successful podcast. So what?
So what are you going to do about it? A
Yeah,
very
right. What am
successful
I
true crime podcast.
Very successful true crime podcast. Yep. Yeah. We'll have merch. We have we have to have merch that's like true crime shit.
True crime. Just a shirt, a black shirt that says true crime.
Just says true crime.
You heard it here, folks. Be ready.
That's 2022, baby. We're gonna actually, I don't know. We'll hit episode 20 in 2022, right?
Yeah,
1, 2,
I
3.
believe so. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's 50 some odd weeks in a year, so
Yeah.
we'll hit it eventually. It'll be next year for sure. But mark your calendars, people.
Mark your calendars. Tell your friends, tell your true crime junkie friends
That's right.
that this is the podcast for them.
Midwest scumbags. At Stitcher.com.
At Stitcher. Yeah, go listen on Stitcher. I don't think we have one single play on Stitcher, honestly.
Probably not. I didn't even know what Stitcher was until you told me about it.
Yeah, and I didn't find out about it until like a couple years ago when I was in college, and I was like, oh, podcasts are a thing. Maybe I'll listen to those. And then, yeah, snowballed from there. And now here I am with an incredibly successful
true crime podcast for the ages. I think we're going to end it here tonight, folks.
Yep. On that note.
That's the end of our 10th episode. I hope you enjoyed listening. Come back next week where we're going to discuss, probably some other random bullshit topic that we come up with the day that we record this.
Probably. That's a good, 90% possibility that that's going to happen. So, thank you for listening, everybody. And, check out our social medias or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, you look at him. I don't want to have the burden of educating you. Good night.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, that was pretty good.